Today I'm going to be showing you what our beloved fruit control is able to lift and what is not able to be lifted. These are subject to change by the time the control rework comes. So let us just know what we have right now. So first is small to medium sized infrastructure or buildings, for example, like this. Alright, I can lift it up and then cause a massive AoE. Now what else? This one, yeah, this one too. Okay, what is this guy doing? Yeah, let me just record this video while I'm getting hunted down. This one too. So most buildings on the floating turtle can be levitated. Whoa, I just got teleported into the portal dimension. Of course, you cannot lift anything up here. The second object that is levitatable is of course trees. They can be sliced as well. One thing worth mentioning is that this fountain right here in the haunted castle, yeah, right next up on the list is ships for no reason. Well, which is pretty unique. You can control people. Alright, you can see this big brigade being thrown right there. It creates an entire nuke. Next up on the list is pretty minor, but it's still usable, which is towers. Now, you gotta know which towers you gotta levitate. Okay, so this is able to be levitated. Okay, the explosion radius is about this big. Wait, what? Where did it go? It's ripped and just thrown. I know that this is pretty unimportant, but why not just know? Right, last item you can funnily lift is a bridge. Maybe just a portion of a bridge. Make a part missing and troll people with it. Let's move on to what you can't levitate or manipulate with the control fruit. So first of all is established furniture, like this one. Well, I'm not gonna say all, but most. Moving forward, we have ledges. But what I mean by that is basically flat vertical surface, like these ones right here. Some people probably think that they're able to lift this entire gray cube up. No. Up next, something that I'll always fall for, which is mushrooms. We got some examples right here. Something still related to nature, we have landforms. Of course, like something like mountains cannot be controlled, hills, no, even this ramp right here. Up next is pretty obvious, important spawn locations. We cannot just lift up this mansion. I mean, it would be funny if we were able to. Alright, of course NPCs, we cannot control them. A boulder is just raised up. That goes the same for quest and spawn NPCs, by the way. All types of NPCs. Moreover, we got most objects in newer islands. Control is not something that the developers really consider about when designing an island, so they could overlook whether what objects should be levitatable or not. In other words, nowadays, they forget that control exists and does not make the objects controllable. Let me show you some examples real quick. Now, using our logic on the floating turtle, small buildings are supposed to be liftable, like this one right here. It's not adjacent to anything, but for no reason they're not able to. But at least this big tree can cause an entire nuke. Where is it? Alright, I really wish we were able to do this. We cannot lift up chests. They just come out as smaller and worse boulders. And lastly, to make it easier for you to identify on what cannot be lifted is established buildings, particularly big ones. Let's just call this a lifting machine. Alright, you cannot lift anything off it. What about this entire fortress? No, you can't.